Hey, what's up, everyone? Gonna just make sure that this is streaming okay before we get going, because I actually have to record the episode while we're streaming too. So it's all new stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Looks like it's running okay. Sorry, guys, again, if there's any weird delays or anything like that. I'm running Wi-Fi right now, not hardlined in, so we may have a little bit of up and down, but hopefully it's, hopefully it's good enough for you guys. So we'll see how this episode goes. It's different. It's different being having video running, but we're gonna have a good time with it and not worry about it too much. So let's go ahead and run all of our stuff. What's up, everyone? Episode number 9 of Fletched and Loaded, and I am so glad to be able to stream this on YouTube. I don't have Josh here with me, and that's okay. He's working, doing some stuff, and but I'll actually show you here where he would be sitting, right there, with our awesomely ghettoed up microphone that we have for him, because we're still buying equipment as we go. But that's how startups always happen, right? So he is going to be sitting here in this area, so that we can go ahead and have him all queued up and ready to go for the next time. And of course, he gets the really nice camera that I have, my 1080p webcam that I have. So, but hopefully you guys are doing good today. We are live on YouTube, and anyone that listens to this in the future, if you want to check out our live stream, I'm going to try to, as long as this goes pretty smoothly, going to try to do it every week, every Sunday. I know that some people don't have a lot of stuff going on Sundays, and so we're gonna try to get you something that you guys can do, and enjoy hanging out with us for a little bit. So. Have some really fun things to talk about today. Again, Josh isn't here, so I'm going to try to just keep the conversation going. And if you're live with us on YouTube, you'll actually be able to watch some of the videos I'm going to check out here that we had come up, and it's going to be a lot of fun being able to do this. Again, it's just a little bit different. Let me know in comments if there's if there's quality issues or audio issues, anything like that, then we can go ahead and change that and make that better for everyone in the end. But I know podcast sound has been going actually pretty well so far. I've heard a few good things from some people on that. Nothing negative so far, so that's good. And from what I've listened to, it seems like it's going pretty well. So, but how's your guys' weekend going? Hopefully it's going well. It's been a pretty crazy weekend for us here. For all of you that follow me on Instagram at Fletched and Loaded Podcast, my wife actually had some pretty crazy stuff happen. Her right side of her face, her eye area here, just started puffing up like crazy. She had a cold and like a sinus thing for like 2-3 weeks. It was really weird how long she was actually sick, and she cleared up for like 4 days or so, 3-4 days. And then right after that, her eye actually just started puffing up. It started getting actually pretty crazy, and started swelling her eye shut and all this stuff. It looked like someone just straight up came up and just punched her right in the face. It's just, I was like, geez, babe, did you get in a fight when I didn't know about it or something? But she was hurting pretty bad. We had to take her to the ER. She went to the doctor. The doctor had pretty much just put her on some IVs right away. He said, we need to get at this aggressively and try to take care of it as fast as we can. So luckily we had a couple really good doctors there. We kind of go to urgent care and stuff, which is, unfortunate with the fact that you may just see a new doctor every time you go. You never know what's going to happen with that. So, so we had a pretty crazy weekend with that, taking care of the kids. I was kind of running upstairs, running downstairs, making sure that everyone was taken care of. So I was just, like crazy sweating and getting tired and all this stuff. But luckily, I was able to keep going, and the weekend's almost over. We're kind of getting back into the work week, so it's going to be really good. Let me go ahead and check out this monitor sharing for you guys, because I had a few things that I kind of wanted to mention. As you can see here, hopefully, as the screen pulls up for you guys, we got SpecTrain up on our board as some people that I wanted to be able to mention again. SpecTrain is SpecTrain's a couple really awesome guys, Dan and Chris. Go upstairs, buddy, if you need to talk to Mom. I'm live. Okay, sorry guys, just talking to the kid. SpecTrain, Chris and Dan, dude, those guys are awesome. They specialize in civilian training. I believe they do other types, and they'll just have to let me know. You guys let me know. But they do training for firearms, handguns, and as you can see here, I'll actually pull up a few of their profiles here. Chris and Dan, I was able to read through all these, man. There's some really cool details on these guys that show you, that they know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing, and I know I've given them mad props a few different times on the podcast. But wanted to at least show you guys the website, show you guys it's at SpecTrainNC.com, and they got some, their philosophy, their about pages here. They got some really cool videos on training, stance and stuff like that. You can see that they're scrolling through teaching stances to new shooters and pistol core classes. And I actually saw a video they posted today that was pretty cool. Balloon threat. I believe it's like a balloon on a target, and he's walking towards the balloon, the target, and he has to yell out threat. And as he's walking, he has to take out that balloon. And that was a pretty cool video to be able to watch and check out what they're doing on that. As you can see, it kind of scrolls through a few different things here. And so I can't speak for these guys enough, as much as I've been able to check out and talk to Chris, through Instagram and a few different things. It's been very eye-opening to how much they care about education and training as far as being safe with your firearm, being able to do it very thoroughly and not have to worry about putting yourself or someone else in harm's way. They're really trying to get around taking care of the threat as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So good job, Chris and Dan. You guys are doing a great job. If you have any contact info, or any contact questions, they have instructor at SpecTrainNC.com, and they have a phone number listed there for you guys if you want to check it out. Great job, guys. Just wanted to, kind of show you guys some love again. So, another company I wanted to talk about here was actually Spirit Quest Archery, and I didn't bring their page up yet, so I'll go ahead and do that for you guys right now. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out here. Yeah, there we go. They don't have a super elaborate website, but all the people in local, I've talked to them about them before. All the local people, Kalispell, Columbia Falls, Whitefish, all these surrounding areas and stuff. If you need a really good place to go shoot, they have an amazing range. They have an awesome staff. Kim and Kevin are the owners down there, and they're great people. Their pro shop is very phenomenal. They have a lot of really good equipment, bows, things like that. This is kind of a shot of their shop with their bows hanging up there. So they got some of that. They got their range, their indoor range with a lot of bales and 3D targets that they're able to, wheel out and put in position for you. I believe they have 20 different targets. 10 spots. Yeah, 20, I believe. They have other ones, but I believe they cycle through 20 different 3D targets, and you can pay for that there, and they'll go ahead and wheel it out for you guys, and you don't even have to go on a specific day necessarily. They'll just, like they show right there, they pull them out and let you shoot. I believe it's 1 or 2 arrows per target, and then you go through that cycle. So yeah, wanted to give them props. Check them out. They're over south of town in Kalispell if you guys are local. And hey, if you're in town and you listen to the podcast, get a hold of me on Instagram or Gmail at fletchedandloaded, fletchedandloaded@gmail.com, or on Twitter or Facebook. And let me know. Let Josh and I know that you guys are in town, and we'll go hang out with you guys and shoot with you guys. So that'd be really, really fun. The last place is probably Black Eagle Arrows. I love talking about these guys. They make phenomenal arrows, and the pride that they have in their company, in the arrow making company, is top notch. When I first started shooting, I was shooting gold tip, which gold tip it's very well known, general buy. A lot of people shoot gold tip, and they're great arrows. They're very strong, very straight. You can buy them in different tolerances, of straightness and, strength, spine strengths and stuff like that. And Josh actually got me possibly into shooting Black Eagle arrow. And I was like, well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to move to a different company. I can very easily go pick up gold tips at my local shop here and stuff. And I was like, I don't know if I want to really order arrows and have to wait for them and stuff. But there was at one point that I was like, I'm going to be looking into their arrows. And actually, let me grab this here for you. Sorry for all you listeners, you can't see, but this is actually the arrow that I busted. And, it's my vintage Black Eagle arrow that I bought. I bought a half dozen pack from them. Very well priced. It's not super expensive for them, depending on the tolerance that you want to pay for it. There's a little bit of a difference in price. But all in all, I finally went ahead and just bought half a dozen. And I can tell you, I'm very thoroughly happy about that purchase. I'm going to go ahead and buy more when I need more arrows from them, because first of all, it was very quick to get those arrows. I didn't have to wait for weeks and weeks to really get them in. They were very fast and efficient on that. And then the next thing is they are super strong. I have a weird break on that arrow, but that was just kind of some stupidity on my side, shooting weird spots on the target and stuff like that. So it was a weird thing, but I've actually knocked these things off trees, and I bounced one off a rock one time, and I shoot a 55-pound recurve, so it's not like it's weak sauce or anything, but and it's never broken. I haven't had any weird kind of shattering in the spine or anything like that. And so I'm very happy with those guys. I recommend them. It's blackeaglearrows.com. You can go to check out. They have a ton of different arrow types for anything from recurve traditional style stuff to compound to crossbow. Man, I couldn't think of the other type of bow that they shoot, but crossbow stuff too. So go check out their stuff, and like I said, I highly recommend that company. And so thank you, Black Eagle Arrow, for sending me some awesome product, and we'll keep standing by you guys as long as you guys keep working as hard as you have. We'll keep shooting your arrows. So thank you so much. I was going to talk to Josh about this, actually, this next page that I pulled up. And sorry for just the listeners, but I got some videos that I was going to check out, and we'll try to segue and explain that for the people that are just listening on from iTunes or Google Play or whatever. But Mr. Josh Williams, co-host of the show, he actually just recently, and let me go ahead and pull up the picture of him. Sorry about that. He just recently went to Helena, Montana, and as you can see here, he went to a strongman competition, he's been training for it. He had some awesome guys at the gym here at Access Fitness in Kalispell, Montana. He had some awesome guys that were, willing to help him, and some great friends of his that were, able to help him train for these events. I think there's like a Hercules hold where he has to hold some pillars, some super, super heavy metal or steel pillars. He had like tire flips and carries and like the Atlas balls, he had to stack those. Pretty much a lot of the events that you would see on like a national or international strongman competition, he went down there to do. I don't know how many people were involved in it, but he as you can see right there, he's super stoked about the fact that he won that, and I don't know, he was just so excited. I was hoping to kind of talk to him about it and see how he was kind of faring from that, see how his body was reacting to all the stress that he had to put on and stuff. But he prepared for it for so long, it's not like an extended period that he was, specifically training for this, but he loves the gym. He loves working out. He's a guy that, really loves getting his aggression out on the weights, and I salute him, proud of him being part of this show, and just how much he's worked towards this, and to see that look on his face just makes me so happy to see that he got first place. And so I was gonna play a few different videos here that he was able to do, and I hope that you guys are able to kind of chime in here and watch. But I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of skip through some of these videos and explain for the listeners kind of what's happening.
What's up, guys? We're here at Atlas Fitness. So we're about to do the medley. So we got a tire flip, bucket carry with like 120 pounds each bucket, and then we got a chain drag with an anchor attached to it, looking like about 350 pounds. Stay tuned.
So yeah, he's about to do a kind of a marathon thing of a few different events right in a row. So we'll go ahead and skip towards where he's starting, because he crushes this thing. I think the time to beat that he had to do was like 45 seconds. He had to beat 45 seconds was the top time, and I think you hear that someone say that. But he has to start here at the tire flip and actually flip it from start to finish. So he's squatting down.
Buddy. Come on, dig deep.
Getting under the tire. As soon as it goes off, he lets him know. He'll start flipping it. And, man, he's crushing it. He just gets at it.
There you go.
And he's trained for this. He's trained for this in the gym. I think his buddy Josh was with him at the time and is rooting him on at this point in the competition. So good on you, Josh, for doing that.
Get the buckets! Come on, run!
So, yeah, now he's picking up some cement buckets, having to carry them to the anchor chain.
Come on, get it!
And now he's dragging the chain from start to finish line, pulling. Gosh, that thing is already stupid heavy. Yeah, apparently he's got to pull it past the finish line, the whole anchor. There you go. So yeah, he was able to. 40 seconds they called. So I believe he had to beat 45 seconds, and he beat it out, man. So great job on that. I wanted to ask him next week. Maybe I'll get on and ask him how it did. Because he was feeling good as far as I know when I talked to him, but you got to be wrecked a little bit. And I was gonna ask him about a few different things here. He's doing some Atlas carries, having to stack these up on the barrels. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and just save a lot of that though for when he's here, because I want to be able to have him walk us through some of the stuff that he was going through, some of the mental things that he was going through in his head, and we can kind of feel him out, see how he's feeling from that, and what his plans are in the future, because there's so much that entails with going forward with that type of competition setting, and the mental game of getting prepared for it. And there's a lot into it, a lot especially that I don't know about, that would be very interesting to see how he feels about that kind of activity, the aspect of doing a strongman competition, and what the other guys were like, how much they had trained, if you got to talk to them and stuff like that. So we'll be able to get with him and kind of see how he's doing from that. But again, super proud of him. He's doing a great job with all the gym aspect and getting stronger, and he loves that. And so unfortunately didn't get to shoot my bow this weekend, but like I said, we were pretty busy with getting my wife feeling better, and so we had a lot of time with the family, being able to hang out with the baby and my 9, almost 10-year-old. Man, they're getting big so far, but pretty excited about a few of the things that we do get to talk about on the show here today. One of the biggest things that I wanted to give a shout out to was I actually got to talk to a gentleman. I believe he lives in Norway, and again, I believe you pronounce his name Jan Otto, or and I'm sorry, dude, if I'm saying your name wrong, but as far as what I understand, how you'd pronounce it is Jan, and his last name I believe is Otto. So he and I actually started talking about this 30-yard egg shot, and he went ahead and pushed for it, man. He went out into some land that he's got there and just shot at this thing over and over and over and over and over. And he actually sent me a previous video that I wasn't able to pull up. I wanted to be able to have the successful video queued up for what we were going to talk about on the show. But he actually went out there and did it. He did this 30-yard egg shot, which originally on Instagram was called out for a compound bow. It was called out for a compound guy to hit an egg on a stand at 30 yards. And so I know I was mentioning it to Josh, and this was probably, 3 weeks ago or something like that. But he said, I'm gonna go ahead and do it at 60 yards. And so I said, heck yeah, dude, let's try it. I'll try it at 60 yards, but I really want to hit it at 30 yards. And so I got to meet Jan, and I feel like I'm saying his name wrong, but hopefully I'm not. But yeah, I got to talk to him about this shot, and he said, man, I'm going to try that. And he actually did his, I'm already starting to play it. He did a quail egg shot that I believe we played last week on the podcast, and I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it up right now, but I did play it on. Oh no, I didn't. I played it on Friday when we were talking. So let me go ahead and see if I can find that for the people that are viewing too. No, not YouTube. Sorry, guys. Let's go here. He shot a quail egg at 9 yards. And there we go. And I'm showing your page, dude, on the podcast, so hopefully you don't mind that. But yeah, he shot a quail egg off of like a Sprite bottle at 9 yards, which that's relative, man, to a very long distance shot for sure. Because that little quail egg is, and he shot like a bottle cap before, which is also phenomenal. It's a phenomenal shot. But he takes this shot at 9 yards. He's backed up to 9 yards now. There's a quail egg on the bottle. One shot, real quick, instinctive archery style. Didn't aim much as far as, pulling back and drawing and stopping. And then he gives a shout out about how about that, Tony. So great job, man. So stoked to be able to meet you, and talk about this shot. I wanted to play, though, real quick for the people that were able to watch with us today or later, because this is actually going to be just on the YouTube channel, Fletched and Loaded, on the YouTube channel. But he actually set up for the 30-yard shot. He's actually backed up already. There's an egg. He takes the second attempt, and it missed. His third attempt, though, he pulls. And, yep. And he knocks it off the Sprite bottle. And he had asked me previously if let me know if this counts. And I said, man, if you're shooting trad style, you know, that's a crazy good shot, shooting an egg at 30 yards. And then he took out the Sprite bottle, you know, just for added effect because he wanted to show how good of a shot he was. But, you know, he clipped the side of this egg at 30 yards, and absolutely, man, I guarantee you that counts because you hit the egg. That's a very, very good shot. And I guess I'm going to have to try to figure out some more challenge shots for you. Yeah, you broke it. He's picking it up like, I think I hit it. But, yep. So great shot, man. I'm glad to have met you. You know, we'll keep in contact, and maybe we'll talk about some trick shots back and forth and see if we can challenge each other on a few different shots. But I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing that shot and seeing if I can do it as well. So, but as long as we're on the archery topic, I wanted to bring up Larry, you know, and talk about, there was a video he posted on his Instagram, and if you could see it there, it's L. Hazelwood Jr. 13. And yeah, I'm shouting out your Instagram dude again, but he did what we all would hope to never do when we're recording, you know, as we're shooting our bow. As you know, he's setting up the camera, setting up your phone on the target, near the target, something like that. And he's actually lined up here with a few of his, or one of his friends, and his friend looks like he's shooting a compound. And we'll just see what happens here, because they're both drawn. It goes into a slow-mo. Camera's pointing at him. And there's a release. Boom! And hits the phone. Ay. Man, I hope you don't have a super expensive phone. But he and I were talking about it actually the other night, and he said that I think he said that he hit the case or something like that, or he just knocked it just enough that it you know, kind of knocked it over and stuff. But we started talking about, like, I wonder if an OtterBox can take a shot directly on, you know, and not do any damage. And I know it's probably completely dependent on what type of field tips you're using, if it's bullet point tips or, you know, the real sharp field point tips. But yeah, so, you know, learn from Larry. Don't shoot your phone. And no hate, man. I'm just saying it happens. It happens. I've gotten so close to shooting my phone. There's a few different videos that I've uploaded where, man, I've gotten so close, and it just makes you kind of like, oh, you know, kind of freaking pucker, because you're just you're so freaked out. It's like these phones aren't cheap anymore. It's not like you're going out to pick out a $30 phone anymore. These things retail at, you know, $600, $700, $800. And so setting your phone out there, you want great quality, you want to have some type of video recording accessible. And so what is that? That's your phone, you know. So you set up your phone wherever you're shooting, and you know, of course, archers like us that are trying to record things and share them with the community and stuff, we're always trying to get new angles, you know, whether it's the GoPro angle, you know, straight down the pipe, shooting at your target, which is kind of interesting. It's a little bit off kilter, I think, but so you got either that, you're doing the camera on the ground looking up at you. You know, you got on the target, you got it at your feet shooting at the target. I mean, there's so many different ways to do it, but I've talked to at least a dozen people that have put their camera or their phone, you know, on the target, on the bail, and man, I think I only know of one other person that hit their phone, and it just completely just smashed the phone. I mean, it just cracked the screen up. It didn't even barely turn on. I think he went up and he picked it up, and it was like doing its weird, like, you know, kind of thing. Not like shooting sparks. That made it sound very comical. But the screen was all just kind of freaking out, and of course just cycling through all of its screen modes and all this stuff. But you know, you gotta watch out for you got to watch out for hitting that equipment. So I hope your phone's okay, man. As far as I heard, it's not damaged very much, and so that's a good thing. But I think he said that he had like an old OtterBox cable. I work with cables all day. He has an old OtterBox case, and he was like, "Man, I'm going to take it out back and shoot it because of our conversation." So I'm really excited to see actually what happens. If he lines that shot up at whatever, 10, 15 yards or something, and takes a shot at his OtterBox case. That might be a good commercial for OtterBox, actually. Can withstand an arrow, and I forget what poundage he shoots at, but I don't know, 30, 40 pounds, 45, could be 80. I have no idea what it is anymore, but he should, I'm stoked to get that back from him and see how it went with the OtterBox. So hit me up, dude. Send it over. Hashtag it Fletched and Loaded, and we'll check it out, man, for sure. But I don't know if you guys are watching the Olympics. I got some time to be able to watch the Olympics. That was pretty fun. Unfortunately, I don't have cable. Well, strike that. I have cable, but the channels we're able to get through my digital antenna are pretty much all but NBC. So of course, because NBC is the the host of the Olympics this year, or this time around. And actually, is it always? I don't even know. I don't know if NBC hosts it every time or not. That'd be something to look into for sure. NBC. Well, I don't even know how I'd search that because you'd have to look up all the past years and stuff, and that would just bore you guys. So I don't want to do that. But yeah, I've been able to actually get on my Apple TV because we have an Apple TV and look up the app for NBC Sports, and we've been able to watch it. Actually, we've been able to check out a few of the events. And speaking of which, I don't know if you guys watched, I think it's France. Let me see if I can find that video just because it's so crazy. I'll go to my page. You guys can follow me here, Tony Gershon on Facebook. That's my picture. But let me see if I can find this. Sorry, I have to scroll through all my stuff. Yeah, right here. Oh, let me replay that. Don't freak out, everyone. Why does it just automatically play when you go back? So, yeah, I believe it's France. The guy's from France, and gymnastics. He's running down. I think this is called the pommel horse. Maybe I'm so wrong on that, but I have no idea. It's where you run down the mat, jump off the springboard on, hands on the stationary platform to do your flips, flip in the air, and then you got to land and, of course, not move and all that fun stuff. But as we can see here, and I'll just prep it for people that are just listening, and check this out on my page if you want to. Tony Gershon on Facebook. You can see through my videos I posted here, but he runs down, of course, just hauling like a madman, like they always are, and springs off, does his crazy flips through the air and stuff. He lands, and let's just see what happens because I don't want to just say it for a second. Oh, and if you can't see, because you're not, let's see if we can get a good angle on this to be able to just pause it. See if it actually flips over a little bit. But he's laying on the ground on his back. People are grimacing through the crowd. There's kids that want to see and then look away right away. People that are covering up their eyes. They don't want to see. Oh my gosh. It's so bad. People are like covering their mouth. They're going to get sick. Okay, that's an okay view. Let's go back a little bit further. That's a great view right there. So as you can see, and I'm no doctor, but basic human anatomy, I know that a leg is not supposed to bend that way. Your shin is straight. It does not break at a point in your shin. So this fine young gentleman, who I believe is from France, because they show a coach later, and I think he has a Frenchie. No, I'm not going to say Frenchie, but he has a France. Man, I'm getting all messed up now. He has a shirt that says France on it. There we go. Yeah, so such a dummy. I keeps messing that up. But He's shaking his head, so I believe this guy is from France. I need to look that up, but man, he lands, and it doesn't look like he landed too crazy. It didn't look like he landed sideways or something, but I don't know if I can look at it anymore. He lands, and his left leg at the shin, it looks like, about just snaps to the side, and his foot's just hanging off. He's actually holding at his knee area right now as he's on his back, and his leg is just busted. I mean, it's just badly busted. And as we see his reaction, there it is again. He's not even like screaming in pain like I would be. He's looking at the pommel horse like, man, that jump did not go like I thought it was going to go. But he's not like screaming in pain like you would think someone would be. And again, not supposed to bend that way. Oh, check it out, guys, because that is pretty gnarly. But I bring that up to say, let me go and close that out because that is just, it's gross, man. There's not many things that gross me out, but seriously, that will do it. But he's a trooper, man. That guy is just crazy strong if he's gonna be doing gymnastics like that. But I say that to say we got to watch. That's a weird transition to archery, but we got to watch a little bit of the archery, and how they list it in the NBC Sports app was men's, not men's division, but men's competition for archery. And so you had your qualifiers, and then the next set was going to be, your medals, your your finals, semifinals, all those with the medals included. I was able to watch all the qualifiers and some amazing different matchups between different teams. And then as soon as I started loading the archery for the medal matches, the finals, all the stuff that I really wanted to watch, especially because USA, I believe, got a bye from qualifiers. They already were qualified into like the semifinals or something like that. But it would just not load. It wouldn't load. Nothing that I tried worked. Tried to find some stuff on YouTube to be able to watch it, and it didn't want to play for me. So, long story short, if you guys are able to watch it, and sorry if it's spoilers for anyone that's hardcore into it, but it looks like USA took silver over or under, I guess it would be South Korea. So I believe South Korea took the gold in this, and hand clap to them because South Korea is very, very well known for their spot on archery. They work very hard all year long for different qualifiers for the world archery tours and stuff like that. But Kaminsky, sorry I said Krasinski last time, but I think it's Jake Kaminsky, Zach Garrett, and Brady Ellison. Great job, you guys, on getting the silver and bringing that home to us. Lots of pressure, from all the different events going on at the same time, different judgings that you kind of have to keep within parameters of the rules and stuff like that. And I know these guys are a lot more used to it than, any of us, but you gotta think that there's going to be some pressure. There's going to be some crazy pressure with just being at the Olympics. It's such a huge moment in your life that every 4 years you're able to do this. So who knows if they're going to be on the team next time. I know Brady Ellison has been on it, I don't even know, a few times, because I remember seeing him when he was younger, and he shot great even back then. So, great job, you guys, on being able to bring that back. I got to watch a little bit of the women's division. I didn't see any of the USA teams for the women's division, and so that was a little bit surprising. I don't know if they didn't make it past qualifiers or how that worked, because again, I was kind of having some problems trying to watch that, but wanted to give you guys at least an update if you aren't able to watch the archery on for the Olympics, that USA did get to bring the silver home for us. So great job, guys, again, and until the next competition, I guess we'll see you then. So but yeah, there's some pretty cool things that are going on here. See if I can pull up this next thing here. Besides Jan shooting that egg, I don't know if you guys know about the company Kuiu, Kuiu. They specialize in exceptional materials for things like hunting backpacking, and like camping and stuff like that. They specialize in equipment for those types of ventures. As you can see, from like boots to backpacks to, lots of different things. I mean, you got all your coats and everything else that you got to take out with you. But Kuiu is a phenomenal brand. I got to listen to the founders on Joe Rogan's podcast, and that's a great podcast if you guys are able to check it out. Specific episode. It's a great episode that if you guys are able to watch that. But there's a new backpack that they actually came out with that I wanted to play the video for, that specializes in being able to carry a quick access rifle mount on your backpack, and it's off the right side. I don't know if that's interchangeable to placing on your left side. I bet that there is some way to do that, because these guys are innovative, and they always take in kind of feedback and stuff on different product listings and comments from users. They take out their products out into the backcountry and on their hunting trips, and these guys do crazy hunting trips too. They do like the crazy 20-30 mile hikes plus. I don't know how they're up in that area though, trying to hunt some of these mountain sheep and really, really hard to reach different animals. I mean, as you can see here, big mountain sheep here, stone sheep. Huh. I didn't know if that's what it's called or not. Man, that's a crazy looking sheep though. But big horns, man. That look at the head on that thing. It's like 2.5 times as big as his. Anyways, that's a crazy picture. If you guys want to check out their page on Instagram, it's Kuiu_official. Again, Kuiu is Kuiu, and I'm trying to remember, he named it off of I believe it's an island in the Alaskan area. Well, why don't I just look it up? But I think that's what he was talking about. Kuiu is an island, and of course they're just going to show me different listings for the company. But let me see if I can Kuiu Island. Let's see if I can find out for you guys. Island in the Alexander Archipelago. Sorry, in southeastern Alaska. Okay, so yeah, in Alaska, I had that correct. It's an island, and he said that one of the founders, and I forget his name, but he was actually standing in Alaska on the coastline, and they were talking about the island Kuiu, and he kind of said, man, it sounded cool. It was something that I was like, man, if I ever start my own business, because I think he was working for Under Armour. I believe he was working for Under Armour. Again, listen to that Joe Rogan podcast, because they go into a lot of details on things, and it's kind of a shotgun blast trying to remember it all. And he said, if I ever own a company and I start one, I'm going to be calling it Kuiu. So it's stuck. It's a very popular brand. They do specialize, of course, in higher end equipment, so you're going to be paying for it, of course. But they specialize in the quote unquote ultralight equipment. So for the guys that weigh out all of their camping equipment, all of their hunting gear, everything, these guys are the guys to go for if that's something that you are looking into doing. They were talking to Joe about, cutting the handles off their toothbrushes and stuff like that, just to save, those extra little tiny bits of weight. Because in the end, after 30 different items, doing that, you're saving a possibility of 30 pounds off the end of it. So, again, check these guys out. They have some amazing different products and different things that you can check out. But right here, you can see that there's, I believe it's one of the founders Jason Hairston. Jason Hairston, yeah. He's actually showing off this backpack that has a rifle addition, a rifle holster in the backpack, and it's a quick access clip that you can undo. And he talks about how it's specifically made for like bear country areas where you need to get to your rifle quickly. If there's a bear in the area, you need to get right to it and possibly have to take out this bear that's going to threaten you. So yeah, I'll go ahead and play this and kind of walk it through.
Working on a new concept that Sean mocked up for me today in the development room. I want to create a rifle carrying system that's easier to access. You're in bear country, you need to get your rifle in quickly. Move the butt from back in this direction where we normally mounted the rifle holder. We moved it up here, we added a quick clip to it. And we'll be testing his ability to get the rifle out quickly and have access to it, but also carry it securely. And I think we totally nailed it.
And
so
within
Yukon, and just wanted to show you something we're working on today here in the development.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Working
awesome
on
job,
a new
Jason.
Concept, that Sean
he pretty much just unclips this quick clip that holds the rifle stock in place, and it's off of his right side. Barrel is up, and he's able to just unclip it, and within, I don't even know, 2 seconds, he has it in his hands, ready to engage whatever he needs to at that point. And that's the thing I can speak about these guys that I've been able to listen to on different podcasts or check out their website, is they are constantly trying to think of new, innovative ways to make life easier for backpackers, hunters, camping folk, people that just enjoy the outdoors, and people that are going out for the day. But I think they kind of specialize more in people that are going to be out there. They're going to be out in the middle of it. They're going to be in the middle of the wilderness. They need to be able to just pack up their gear quickly and have it be light on their feet so that they're not drug out like crazy at the end of a day or at the end of a hike. So yeah, I mean, I can't speak enough for these guys, how much they have. I mean, they started the company, I don't remember how long ago. It hasn't been a super long time ago. I'm guessing within like maybe 6 years or something like that, 7-8 years. They started this company, and they talked about how they wanted to make a brand that is answering the questions and the call from people that are out there doing the stuff that they're doing, and not possibly getting a response from the companies that they loved. And there's, as far as what I've heard from these guys, there's no hate on them as far as this brand sucks, I don't want to go to them because they were mean and all this. I mean, they have stories like that, but as far as I know, they're working still closely with different companies, and that's the way to do it. That's the way to really keep in the community. And as long as people aren't getting swindled and kind of taken advantage of, then it's great to be in that community as they are. So it was really cool to be able to watch these guys again. They started the company, and their big main priority was to answer the call of these different types of avid outdoorsmen and be able to, address the issues that they had. My pack is super uncomfortable on my back, even though it has a frame. It's sitting too much weight is sitting high. It's not down on my hips. These straps that are supposed to compensate for that weight aren't doing much. And a lot of these other companies, they do what they can, but they weren't willing, as far as what they were talking about on the podcast, they weren't willing to either invest or take their brand so far, that pendulum swings so far to a different direction that it may jeopardize either their company or lose out on a product that is worth quite a bit of money they'd be putting into that product to make it better and then have it possibly fail. These guys, as far as what they've said on the podcast, and they've really addressed for people in the public, is they have concepts, they think of new ideas and stuff, and these guys directly take them out on hikes. They pre-pack them for their hunts and the different outdoors activities that they're going to be doing. They put it through rigorous different situations, and they're really able to test out to see if these different products are comfortable or not, and I can't speak on these guys enough. They were able to really hear from the customers and go, okay, well, you guys need like that. You need a way to be able to get to your rifle quicker if you're in bear territory. You don't want to just be carrying it the whole time, which is of course, is super self-explanatory. You don't want to have to just be like, oh, I'm holding my rifle the entire time. You get tired, your arms get tired, they get sore. And so these guys have thought of different ways to make life easier for these guys and gals that are out there in the wilderness. Their day is hard enough having to walk miles and miles every day. And so they've been able to really figure out a way to make that easier for them. So good on you guys. You guys are doing great work, and super happy to be able to have seen that on the JRE. So that's awesome. So glad that you guys were able to do that. So I don't know if I have much else to really talk about. It was a fun little trial podcast doing this on live. Thank you again to Jan for sending me the info that he did. The videos and different things that he was able to do. Man, you're a crack shot already. I know he was talking about he'd only been shooting for I believe it was like half a year, 6 months or so, 6 to 8 months, something like that. Not a really long time. And he's already like hitting bottle caps and stuff like that. So you're doing good, dude. You're on your right track to being an even more phenomenal archer. I'm so glad to meet people like that really just enjoy their passion. They really enjoy what they do. They're not, giving up because of the fact that, they may be new at it and not making a lot of progress or something like that. I know that I've talked to a few different people that, they just get frustrated with the fact that it's just like, I can't get it down. I give up and stuff like that. But we've talked about it so many times. Anything regarding firearms training, getting passionate about, like pistol training or pistol competitions or anything like that, or, long distance shooting with anything, whether it be a rifle or archery, shooting far close, any of those disciplines, man, especially the ones that we kind of advocate for here on Fletched and Loaded, of course, being archery and firearms, any of those that you're able to really, sit down before and after shooting and go, okay, how can I make this better? And then during training, really trying to focus in on in what way can I improve my stance, improve my grip, improve my draw if you're doing archery, or my trigger pull on for any type of firearms, because that's such a huge thing too. I believe that as far as what I've looked into, the trigger pull is the essential draw for an archer. It's draw and release, subsequently. So there's something to say about both disciplines, which has been such a great venture for Josh and I to bring this together. And there's not a lot of podcasts that talk about both archery and firearms. So again, really proud of the guys that I've been able to meet. Any of the ladies that have sent in stuff. Great job to both guys and gals on really sticking in there and doing as great as they have so far with it. And, again, to all the people that have really shown the love to the podcast, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. It's been great to do this, and we want to get more involved with you guys. So, hit us up on Instagram. You can hit me up on Instagram at Fletched and Loaded Podcast. There's Josh, the co-host. He's at Inked Up Josh on Instagram. You can hit me up on Twitter, Fletched and Loaded Podcast. Facebook is Tony Gershon. You can look me up there. And send us any questions, any stories that you have about shooting, challenge shots that you want to do. Send us all that on either the social medias, or you can email us if you don't have those different platforms. You can email us at fletchedandloaded@gmail.com, and we're checking that as we go and trying to make this whole rickety ship a little bit smoother as we go. So I appreciate all the feedback, all the love from all you guys that have been able to kind of hang out with us. And thank you guys for chiming in and hanging out on YouTube with us. Again, if this goes smoothly, we're going to try to do this more often, if not every week. So I will be letting you all know on on Instagram and on Facebook if people follow me there as well. And next week, hopefully we'll have Josh here, and we're going to be able to talk to him about his strongman competition, how he's been faring with, trying to shoot and stuff on his busy weeks, and everything, kind of catching up with him. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you again for so much love. Rate and review on iTunes, Google Play, all those that you can. It means the world to us, and we love doing this. So we love you guys. Thank you for the community, and I guess we'll go ahead and talk to you next week. All right, peace out, guys. Thank you so much.